So I was sitting here in this field thinking that I wouldn't have any distractions while I was doing my vlog. And there's a truck driving across the field. So I might need to find another location next time. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the vlog. Back here on the Pocket 3 using the Mic 2. Just on my break again. Realized I hadn't hit record in quite a while. Done one of these vlogging type things, so just wanted to get the camera out, get some use out of it. I'm going to be picking up some sushi for lunch again. It seems to be a weekly routine for me. I'm not mad about that. Something a little different today with the Pocket 3. I decided to throw an ND32 filter on there. A while ago when I got the Pocket 3, I was doing a bunch of research into like the settings that you want to use on this camera to make things look more cinematic and natural. And one of the things I was trying to follow was the 180-degree shutter rule, which means that your shutter speed is twice your frame rate. But when you're out in conditions like this, where it's a nice, bright, sunny day, if you don't have the ND filter on your camera, which is basically sunglasses for your camera, your whole image gets really bright. You can't see anything. So the first thing I did after buying the Pocket 3 was picking up a pack of ND filters. So I got like I think it's like an ND 16, 32, 64, and it came with like a polarizing filter or something like that. But they're really finicky to use on the Pocket 3. First of all, they're really tiny. They stick to the lens using a magnet. But to swap the ND filters on and off is so annoying on this camera that I haven't used them at all. And I've just been letting my shutter speed vary automatically to control how much light the camera lets in. If I had to go back and give my past self a little bit of advice on purchasing things for this camera, I would have told myself, don't bother picking up the ND filters. But, also having said that, one of the filters that did come with the ND filter pack was, I think it was a polarizing filter, or like some kind of clear filter that doesn't really do anything with keeping the light under control. But it's a really good filter for protecting the lens of the Pocket 3 because this camera doesn't have a replaceable lens. So if it gets scratched or damaged, you're kind of out of luck. But if you've got one of those filters on there that just adds a layer of protection but doesn't alter the image at all or too much, then if that filter gets scratched, all you have to do is replace that one filter and you're good to go. But it kind of made me think about spending money on equipment and considering how much you actually get out of the stuff that you buy. Because I'm kind of guilty of this. A lot of the time when I buy things, I'll do a lot of research into the thing that I want, but then also a bunch of accessories that will maybe enhance the experience of using that thing. And a lot of the time I don't really end up using a lot of the accessories. Like there's definitely some good ones that I've picked up, and they're mostly just to help protect the camera or the investment that I purchased. But I find it's always good to hear from someone who's had experience using some of these accessories and telling their story about whether or not they think it's actually useful, if it's convenient to use, in a real life setting, not just like a studio setting or like a sponsored video where someone's getting paid to promote a product. So yeah, that's my take on ND filters. For the Pocket 3, I don't think they're worth it just because they're so finicky to use. I've seen people using the ND filters on the action cameras, like the Action 4 and Action 5. Those ND filters seem easier to pop on and off, but it still means that you have to carry them around with you. And I'm not really a big fan of taking a bunch of accessories with me when I'm on the go. And then for my FX30, I bought a variable ND filter, which just screws onto the front of my lens. And I just have to twist it to change the different ND levels. So it's it's just something that sits on the lens. I don't have to take it on and off, and I just have to remember to, to twist the knob when I want to make it a little bit darker, a little bit brighter. Today's actually a good test for the mic too. It's pretty windy out here, so we'll see if, some of that wind noise gets cut out by the wind muff. That's something I was thinking about today before I decided to step outside, was my 9-to-5 job that I work, and how I often blame it for holding me back from taking my cameras out in the middle of the day and getting some use out of them. Like, I think it's a legit concern of mine. Well, not really a concern. It's just an observation that when you have a day job and you're like me and you work remote, you're home a lot of the time, once you sign off, it's not the easiest thing just to, get dressed, grab all your gear and go out and start filming, because you've already expended a bunch of energy at your day job. I know for myself, the last thing I want to do is, expend more energy, trying to, think of something really interesting to film, which is why I think it's also a good idea to plan out some of the things that you want to record. You take the, kind of the guessing game out of it. So yeah, I don't really have anything insightful to say in this vlog. But the last thing I wanted to mention was what I've been noticing on my YouTube feed recently. And it's that a lot of you guys are posting really cool videos that I'm really enjoying watching. It's such a nice, refreshing change from the videos I'm used to watching, which are just like studio videos of people talking about gear reviews or cinematic type stuff. There's something so cool about the realistic vlogs that are coming out on my channel, the realistic vlogs that are coming out on my feed right now. And maybe it's something that I've always enjoyed watching, which is just people going about their everyday life and sharing, a piece of their world with everybody. But I don't know, I really find it interesting to see what you guys are up to. I also find it really impressive how you guys edit your videos. It's something that I want to try and get better at. So when I see you guys doing things like different camera angles or, just like the different activities that you guys are up to and how it can make a vlog really interesting to see, or even the mundane stuff, where it's just somebody sitting in front of a desk silently, but you kind of get to see their work environment. It's all really interesting to me. And I think that's the really cool thing about YouTube, is you get a glimpse into someone else's life. I know it's not like the full experience because you're not actually there with them, but there's something really cool about seeing relatable people online instead of people that are being sponsored or paid, and it doesn't seem like they're, who they're portraying themselves as on camera is actually who they are. So yeah, I guess all of this to say is, coming back to my point from a previous video, is I appreciate seeing realism these days more than ever before. So I was sitting here in this field thinking that I wouldn't have any distractions while I was doing my vlog, and there's a truck driving across the field. So I might need to find another location next time. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think I lived in a very busy area, but I walked a couple blocks away from my home and thought I found a peaceful field to record in. And there's so many things going on. Like, I don't know if you guys were able to hear this. There was a kid screaming off to the side somewhere. I don't even know where the screaming was coming from. But it's funny. Every time I watch vlogs from you guys walking through your nice neighborhoods with your green grass, I'm so envious. Like, look at this field that I'm in right now. It's just all brown. It's not very appealing to me. But when I see you guys, doing your walk and talks, your neighborhoods look so nice. The grass is always green. There's not a lot of loud cars driving by. I don't know. I need to figure this thing out because I find it really distracting when you're trying to get some thoughts out loud, especially when you're not talking to another person and you're just talking to a camera, when there's other noises happening around you. But it also could be that I haven't really been out that much this week. Like this is the first time today that I've actually used my voice. I've just been head down doing work this morning. But yeah, I don't know. Some days I feel like I'm in the zone, but just this last week, because I haven't gone out too much, I felt a little bit more spaced out, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'll keep practicing this. I'm finding the vlogs more challenging than I anticipated, but it's been a really fun challenge. And every time I watch a vlog from one of you guys, I learn something new that I want to try and apply to my own. And usually it's just like watching you guys talk without really thinking about too much else. You're just, going about your day and doing a running commentary. Whereas so far I'm noticing when I talk to the camera, there's a lot of thinking going on in my head, and it's not rolling off the tongue naturally. I still, like, when I go back and review my vlogs, I still don't think that it's not like the personality that I think I have. It's definitely like a curated personality that I'm showing on the camera, which I don't love. I would like to be more like myself on camera, but I think it just comes with some practice. So yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. I am a little bit over my lunch break, so I should grab my food and then head back to my home and carry on working. But nice to pick up the camera on my break and just do a little bit of recording, because I want to use these cameras as much as possible. That's the whole point of owning them. And it's fun sharing this stuff with you guys and hearing your feedback. So that's going to do it for me. We'll see you guys in the next one.